Welcome to Zyqual, the world's most advanced appraisal management system. You are the very first generation to experience this revolutionary platform, designed and built right here for the future of education. Imagine a system where appraisals are not just paperwork, but powerful tools for growth, collaboration, and excellence. Zyqual makes it possible. From downloading appraisals in seconds to updating professional descriptors with ease and managing both self and team appraisals, all at your fingertips. Today, you'll discover how to move beyond the old paper culture, embrace digital efficiency, and become part of a new era in education. You are not just learning a new tool, you are becoming a trailblazer, helping shape the standard for schools everywhere. Let's get started and unlock the full power of Zyqual together. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to import the appraisals from the library and modify the descriptors and create a self-appraisal. So firstly, we want to go to the Zyqual logo on the top left or the hamburger icon. We click. We then go to average observations. That's where your appraisals will sit. Then we look for active observations. This is my demo school, so it will have a lot of sample appraisals in there that I will use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to import from the library. If your school is empty or you need a new appraisal document, you will do so by getting it from the library. So I'm going to click on Add Observation from Library. When it comes up, I am now in the library. And there are sample ones in here. All the ones that you need for your school will be here. So I'm going to look at this sample one. Take note the appraisal category. In order for somebody to be able to complete this appraisal as a self-assessment, they will need to have this appraisal category on their profile. If the person is a caregiver, then they will have the caregiver profile. If they are a principal, then that's the type of appraisal category that will be on their profile. Take note of the academic year. The current academic year is 2024 to 2025, and I will look for the latest version. If the latest version I'm seeing is another academic year, which is an older one, it would just mean that there has been no update to the appraisal document itself. Whenever a new one is sent out from the Ministry or the Jamaica Teaching Council, we update the academic year here that we would have received it. So that one would then become the latest version. So if you look, you can see we have beginning teacher performance appraisal. We loaded this in the academic year 2023 to 2024. However, we got another version, and you can see it here, and the latest version is academic year 2024 to 2025. So I would go for the latest one for update my school appraisal library. So I'm just going to do this one as a sample because it's short and quick for me to do. So I'm going to go over to where it says action, and I'm going to click on this little gear icon here, and I'm going to click add to survey. When it comes up, I am going to make my first version self-appraisal. You make it self in the first instance because based on the policy, all persons who will be appraised should do a self-appraisal. So as practice, I'm just going to ensure that it becomes a self-appraisal. And then comment bank should be transferred to the survey. Sometimes we add comments to the appraisals. I will show you an example of what that looks like. Sometimes we add comments to the appraisal, and you can, if you want it, you can actually get it, and if you don't want it, you can ignore it. So I am going to bring that from the library, and I am going to read the Customize Appraisal Descriptor. So when I click on this red writing here, it's just some information informing me that Jamaica Teaching Council and Zyqual does not provide appraisal descriptors. So the ones that you will find here in the library are samples. and you should ensure that you remove them, or if you use them, you rewrite them so they are suitable for your school. In some instances, you can use them as is, but we are not in the business of providing that in this library here. If you need support with your appraisal descriptors, feel free to contact us at Zyqual, and we'll be able to give you all the support you need to get your descriptors completed and ready for your appraisal process. So I have read that, so I'm now going to click on I have read it, and I'm now going to click Save Changes. When I click Save Changes, it's going to open in edit mode, and it's now downloaded to my school, and I am now able to edit it. So the first thing you should know that it is a self. Good. Note the start date and the end date. You can update the start date to be, for example, like next the 30th of the 6th in the future, or you can keep it on the same day. However, if you keep it on the same day, once it is saved, all users who have teacher performance appraisal on their profile will be able to complete that. So if you know you're going to be updating the descriptors and it's going to take you a little while, you can set the date for a future date. By that time you're finished, you can always, it will go live on that particular date. Please take note of the end date. So I'm going to put mine on the 31st of August just to ensure that all staff will have enough time to complete it. So keep that in mind. Allow observee comment, because I'm going to be making a duplicate of this for the original appraisal document. So this one I'm doing is the self. Anything I do in the self must be the exact same in the original one that the teachers or the heads of departments or the principal will use to appraise regular teachers. So I'm just going to keep everything the same so I can just make a duplicate without issues. Over here where it says limit, however, that's something I would like to change. Where it says limit, if I click limit, it asks me how many times should a staff be able to complete this. Since it's self-appraisal, I'm going to put it as 1. However, because the system is new and persons are practicing, I'm going to put it as 3, just in the case event that they make a mistake, they can do it at least 3 times. This will block them from doing it many times and give your school a lot of data that you don't need. We don't need to click anything here. Where it says local or national, we need to keep it as national because we want the data to feed into the QEC and the region so that proper assessment and analysis can be done. If you do not keep it as national and it's done, it will not count in your school count for appraisals. You will get warnings and notifications from the regions or the relevant persons informing you that no appraisal was done. So ensure that for the appraisals themselves, they are linked here as national. You will not see that. However, category remains the same. If the academic year is say 25 to 26, you can update it, or 27 to 28, you can update it. So keep the academic year to the current year so that the relevant data can be fed into the correct academic year. Here you will see the purpose of the appraisal. Down here you will see the grade boundaries, and here you will see the GPs or the domains depending on the type of appraisal. Since this is just me demonstrating, I am only looking at GP1, so I have created a specific appraisal for GP1. That's why you're not seeing all 6 GPs here. When I scroll down, you will see the indicators or the professional standards. The bit that I've highlighted is the professional standard that you will find on the paper version, and down here is the descriptors. This is what the school will need to update to give the staff enough information of what is required of them to do to achieve the credits. Notice here the maximum credit is 6. So the descriptors is what will give the staff the information of what they can do in that academic year to achieve the credits. And I've done it in leveled version, so you can see if they do this, they will receive 1 credit, 2 credits, 3 credits, all the way up to 6 credits, because 6 is the maximum number of credits that they can receive. To edit the descriptors, and my screen will look slightly different from yours, but when you're doing it on your own, you will see the difference. It's not going to be a big deal, but you will notice it. However, you will understand exactly what to do. So I'm going to click on the spanner here and click edit. So this is me editing the the performance descriptors. Sorry. I want my staff to be able to upload evidence, so I'm going to check this box that says allow evidence upload. I want them to be able to upload evidence to show, let's say for example, the certificates that they would have received when they attended training. So I'm going to check that box. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write my descriptors. So I can delete and I can edit. I can edit the descriptors if I like and put whatever I want that is suitable for my school. I had pre-created these as demonstration, so you can put them here. How did we format it? You can highlight text, you can change the color, you can make it bold. So this is like a little Word document thing. You can edit it here. If you understand HTML, you can also paste your HTML code here and it will appear here. That's for persons who know or understand HTML. You can simply copy and paste from a Word document and just format it so that it looks presentable and look good to your staff. So I'm going to click save, and then the descriptors would have been updated. While I'm working, I don't want to lose my work, so I'm going to click save observation. This will allow the work that I'm doing currently to be updated on my school's account, so that if the internet cuts off or anything goes wrong, I will still have the edited version of what I did. So click on save often to ensure that it keeps the work that you're doing. And you would do that for all the standards. You will update the descriptors to suit your school. I had done that already. What I'm just going to do here is enable evidence upload so that the user can upload evidence for each standard if it makes sense. Teachers in your schools will have a digital portfolio. You don't have to enable this. You can just put the link in the evidence section for where the links to the digital portfolio once you're doing the appraisal. However, some school wants it in both locations, so the teachers will have a digital portfolio and they will also have, when they're doing their self or the regular appraisal, they can upload evidence. So I'm just going to click save and exit here. So I clicked on save and exit. It's now going to take me back to my active observation library or for my school. So I'm just going to click on status here since I have a lot and organize it. So active will then appear at the top. So I can see this is my self. You can see self-assessment there. And now I'm going to create the regular one. That's a quick process because I have updated the descriptors and did everything in the self that will be in the one that we will use to appraise teachers. So now that I've done that, I can go ahead and duplicate this version so that I can have both versions. I can have the self-appraisal and I can have the regular ones that the heads of departments, the principals, and the various appraisal teams can use to appraise teachers. So I'm just going to come down here and click create revision. A point to note is that I could click disable. What that will do is prevent users from using it until I am ready to enable it so that they can actually have access to it. So I can enable and disable at any time to allow staff access to the appraisal. So down here, I'm going to click on create revision. Create revision will allow me to duplicate the appraisal. And while I'm at it, I want to show you the comment bank. So the comment bank is where you can add comments that reflects the descriptors that you would have had. So here you would choose what you want the comment bank to update for. You can put the comment here. So I'll show you an example. So I had put if the person got 6, so GP1 content knowledge, I had put if the person got 6 credits. This is the type of feedback that they could get. And when I launch the appraisal in a minute, I will show you how this reflects when you're actually doing it. So I've gone through and I've updated each standard with different comments based on the score. So for example, content knowledge, I added 5 because it was out of 6 credits. I added what the teacher could do to if the teacher achieved 6 credits, I would have put a comment that would reflect that the teacher got 6 credits. So this is a developmental feedback comment. If the teacher got 5 credits, if the teacher got 4 credits, 3 credits, 2 and 1, and it's the same content knowledge. For GP 1.2, it's the maximum credit is 4, so I would have put 4 credits, 4 different comments. So 1 for 4, 1 for 3, 1 for 2, and 1 for 1, and so on. So I just select which one I'm dealing with here, and then I put one comment, save it, then I put the other comment, save it, and I clearly distinguish them with the credit notification, so persons will know which one to choose based on the credits the teacher would have received. So I'm now going to go back to the area where I'm gonna duplicate it so that I can have two versions in my school. So I'm just gonna click on the status bit here to organize it. So my active one, I'm just gonna click on create revision. I am not going to choose self because self was already made. The academic year is 24-25, and I'm going to click save changes. I don't need to change the name or anything. So I save it. Once it is saved, it will open in edit mode, the same like when we downloaded the first version. Once it is open, because I had already updated the descriptors and everything, how many times it can be done, and so on. I don't need to make any more changes. Everything else remains exactly the same. The evidence is already enabled. The descriptors would have already been there, and so on. So I can now just click save and exit. So I click save and exit. It should take me back to the library once more. I can arrange it again just to make sure that both versions are there. So I have GP1 subject knowledge, I have the self-assessment, and I also have the regular version that the team will use to conduct the appraisal. Academic year is there. If I had made any mistakes, I can go back and edit. Once nobody starts using the appraisal, you can edit it as often as you wish. But if someone accesses it and start using it, you will not be able to make changes. We do not allow you to make changes after it has been used because that would be an unfair game. So you might, if anything goes wrong, you would probably have to just disable it and download a new version and use it. However, hopefully you make the right choices in terms of disabling and updating it before you make it go live. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So I'm going to click on the Zyqual logo up here. And then I click dashboard. This will take me back to my dashboard. On the dashboard is where I will see the appraisals. Depending on the person's profile, they will be able to see the appraisal. If they have teacher performance appraisal on their profile, they will be able to access it. So now I can see both of them. I can see the self-appraisal and I can see the regular one that the staff will use to appraise teachers. So in this version, if I click on this one for self, if I click on it, it opens, and if I try to click start, it says hello, select a teacher. If I go up here, I can't select a teacher because I don't have regular teacher performance appraisal on my profile, so therefore it will not allow me to do it, and the rest of it is grayed out. So I will do another video that covers a teacher who will have that on their profile and how they complete it. So now I'm going to go back to the dashboard. When I get to the dashboard, I can click the average observation tab there again, and then this is the one that we will use to capture information for persons. If I click on start, I'm just going to test it that it can work. So I click on start. I will click here to select a teacher. So I'm going to select Leo Penny. If the school is properly set up and the teacher's profile is properly set up, the system will select or auto select the department, the faculties, which subject the teacher teach, and a year group. You'll be able to select the year group you want to do the appraisal for, and the class. You can select the time that you're going to begin the appraisal, and we click on start. If you are unable to fill in any of these, it would have been because the teacher's profile is incomplete, and if you're unable to complete the teacher's profile work details, it's because the school setup is incomplete. So bear in mind that the school needs to be set up first following the instructions given. The teacher's profile needs to be set up following the instructions given. On the teacher's profile, there will be asterisks indicating the compulsory fields. All of these needs to be done before you can actually do an appraisal. I am going to click start. This type of appraisal is more like a formative. It is not a summative appraisal, because the summative appraisal would have to be conducted by a team. So note up here where it says supporting observers, you are unable to add supporting observers to this because we are doing it as a formative. To do this summative, we will have a video that indicates how you do that, because you will have to invite all the supporting observers on Zyqual and they will have to accept in order for that appraisal to take place. So this is more like entering previous year's data and or doing a formative appraisal. I can enter the score that the person would have received. In the comment section, because I created or updated the comment bank, I can click on the comment bank icon here. I would have given this person a 6, so that's for 1 credit, 2 credits, and so on. So because I gave them a 6, I'm going to select that, and I'm going to click add comment. Comment is added. So what I'm going to do is just modify this comment, and I can personalize it. I can put more information, or I can keep the comment as is, because each school will write their comments that reflects the different credits that the person will receive. I can upload evidence by clicking on the upload evidence button. If I choose file, I'm able to upload a file. And I click upload. However, I'm going to not do that because that's a practice. So I go down. This person would have received, after we looked at the evidence and everything, we can then I can update the comments. Oh, that's for a 3, they got a 3. So I can delete the comment and I put the proper comment. Person got a 6. So I put a 6. And I'm just going to update the notice. Alright, so here we review this. I am going to give them a 4. If I don't have any comment bank, I can then write my comment. Now, if there's an emergency and I have to leave, which I can't get to finish this, I can click continue later. Or I can continue working. However, please do not work beyond 20 minutes without saving. So if I click save and complete, this will make sure I can't update anything. So don't click save and complete. What you want to do is continue later. So I am going to click continue later to demonstrate how to come back to it. So I'm going to click continue later over here. It says that I can come back and complete it at a later time. So I click yes, it is saved. So I click OK. This is going to take me back to the dashboard, and on the dashboard I can find it under the pending observations tab. There's 2 ways to locate this. I will show you both ways. So if I click on pending observations here, I then select average observations and then select pending average observations. Today is the 24th of June. This is one I was just doing, the sample one for Leo Penny. I can click on the icon here to open it. And the other way to find it is to go to the Zyqual logo over here. And I'm going back to the menu selection area. This is where I will go to find the other route. So if I click on average observations here, and I click on pending observations, I will be able to see the pending observations on this route. This is the way that you can also remove it. So if you started it and you've changed your mind, you don't want to do it like that anymore, you can click on the bucket to remove it, and you can also open it. So I'm clicking on it to open it. Details is still there. I can update the score. I can update the comments. I can still upload or upload the file. I can continue working from where I left off, and I can put my score in. I can put a comment that reflects it. So if I don't have a comment bank, as an example, I can get a comment from somewhere or write exactly the comment that needs to be seen. Now, comments must be developmental. You should make sure that your comment is of high quality. On Zyqual blog, I'm going to put some information of how to ensure that your comment is of high quality. So I'll check the grades again once more before I save and complete, because once I save and complete, I'm unable to change the credits. You will be doing most of the appraisal as part of a team, and the team will agree around what the credits are, and you can save and you can complete it later by going back to it many times and check. But the minute that you click save and complete, you will not be able to make any changes. So don't click that until the process is finished and you verify that the credits that are given are what was agreed as part of the team. And so now that I've clicked that, I am unable to make changes. I can, however, find it under history. So if we go to history, this is the one I just did, same date. I can see the final grade. So the person got 26 out of 30, 86%, and it's a strong. I can click on the icon there to open it, and I can scroll down. Now I have 72 hours to modify the comments, but I'm unable to make changes to the scores that was agreed during the appraisal process. So I can update the comments to make it, like fix my grammar and all of these things, but I'm unable to make changes to the grade. So unless click save and complete once you know it's done. This is where you can put your final remarks. So the overall feedback from all the persons, the lead appraiser will put that there. So I'm just going to put it there as a sample text. And down here you will see the report. It can be downloaded. So if I click download, you will see the school logo, the school name, the name of the appraisal, the demographic detail for the teacher, purpose of the appraisal. You will see the description. You will see the outcome of the appraisal for the person. You will see all the different standards, the descriptors, the score that was available, the score that was achieved, observers comment. When the teacher responds, you will see the response here for the teacher. You will see that in a separate video, and so on. We can scroll through to see to the end. Alright, so I'm going to cancel that because I'm not printing. And that is how you do the formative appraisal. You can also, quickly I'm going to show you how to read the reports. So if you click on average observations here, report area, click on it. Let's say school summary. We're going to look for the same appraisal that I just did. So it was the one that says what, sample, this one. That was today. Check the date. If I click get data, I can see that it was done once because there's no numbers here counting to tell me how many persons did it in science. So if more than one person from science would have done it, there would be a notice here to say how many. So this is number of teachers who would have done this is 1. It was done only once. Total credits available 30, and so on. So we can see that this person's weakest point is professional development, and we can see the feedback from the appraisal to see why. You can see the outcome down there. So I'm now going to go back to see why what was said in GP 1.4. So I'm going back to the dashboard to assess the feedback that was given, why they would have received that as their lowest grade. So if I'm the head of department or I'm the principal, I have access to all appraisals in the school. We can go to all observations here. We can see average is where the appraisals will sit, and this one was done today, and I see that this person got 26 out of 30, 87, some 86%. So I'm gonna come over here and check 1.4 to see why 1.4 was the lowest. So they got 4 out of 6, and I can see the information that was given, and I can see the descriptors and the review. Alright, this is how you do the formative appraisals in your school. Look out for the next video that will show you how to work out how to do the summative which is a group effort. See you in the next video.